Paul and Joshua happening in December. Anything, any prediction on how it will go? Yeah, if it's not handicapped, Anthony Joshua will knock him out.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
That's the respect them both. It's not a fight I even thought of. It's nothing to do with me to start with. I mean, it come out of the blue, but it's intriguing. And I think from Jake's perspective, I think, he's had a lot of criticism about, he is a pro boxer now. The way you want to look at it, he trains as a pro, and he's fighting as a pro.
Rules, 10-ounce gloves. So they're the little ones that I knock people out with. And when AJ's got them on, trust me, you can feel them knuckles through the gloves. Big heavyweight with the same size gloves as what I had on. So it's not 14 or 16 ounces what you're sparring.
Shannon Sharpe confronted Jake Paul live on air over the Anthony Joshua fight, and the chaos was instant. It felt like one of those sports TV moments destined to be replayed for years. Jake Paul has carved out a wild, unpredictable path from YouTuber to boxing headliner, and the idea of him facing Anthony Joshua is already massive. Fans are split between calling it brilliant matchmaking or an outright circus. The Netflix hype, the ticket frenzy, the non-stop social chatter, all of that is the fuel behind this confrontation. Then add Shannon Sharpe, a Hall of Famer, a voice that commands respect, someone who never got anywhere by staying quiet. When he thinks the sport is being disrespected, he doesn't whisper. He raises the temperature in the room. That's the emotional engine driving this moment.
I think Anthony Joshua won the gold medal. Didn't he win the gold medal for the super heavyweights in the Olympics?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know Anthony Joshua's history, but I'm thinking about ring experience. That's pretty much it. And I commend Jake Paul for what he's done. I commend him for the work he's put in and how serious he's taken the sport. From going from a YouTuber and actually taking it seriously and dedicating his life to boxing and entertaining, in his own lane and creating a lane for himself in the sport. So you can't handicap a fight like this too, huh?
He won the gold medal, Ocho, in the 2012 Olympics in London.
Yeah.
And the super heavyweight, same one Klitschko, the same one.
Boxing isn't just entertainment. It's lineage, sacrifice, and danger. Fighters like Anthony Joshua built their careers through blood and discipline. When a celebrity steps into that world and gets a fast pass to main events, some feel the craft is being cheapened. Shannon often carries that protective, almost parental tone toward the sports he loves. Second layer, accountability. If Jake talks recklessly or downplays the risks, Shannon won't let it slide. And he didn't. Picture the raised voice, the sharp cadence, the pointed questions, and then the line everyone replays, "This is bull." It was raw, loud honesty. The kind viewers lean forward for. What followed was an online explosion. Fans took sides. Some praised Shannon for defending boxing's tradition. Others accused him of being stuck in the past. Jake supporters argued he brings in new audiences, new money, and new energy. That's the real tension, legacy versus evolution. Moments like this prove boxing now sits at a crossroads, where legends, celebrities, streaming platforms, and viral moments all collide. A single confrontation becomes shorthand for the whole debate. Did boxing win because it got attention, or lose something when the spotlight shifted to clicks and controversy? While fans wait for the bell in Miami, the conversation continues. And whether Shannon was right or Jake was right, one thing's undeniable. Boxing is alive, messy, emotional, and explosive when sports and media collide. The fight had been a rumor for days before official confirmation. Few believed Jake Paul would actually face a former two-time heavyweight world champion, until the announcement landed. Jake vs. Joshua, December 19th in Miami. Last week, Logan Paul ran into UFC Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier while both were recording podcasts. Logan seized the moment. When he told DC the rumors were real, Cormier went through every emotion. 5 years now, great coaches, great sparring. He can fight, man. Cormier laughed. Yeah, but Anthony Joshua? That's bad, bro. Joshua, who hasn't fought since being knocked out by Daniel Dubois in September 2024, is certain of his comeback. After the fight was announced, he vowed to destroy the internet by eliminating his 12-1 opponent. Jake or anyone can get this work. No mercy. He added that he's returning to make massive numbers, break records, and stay cool and composed while doing it. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury's prediction resurfaced online. He told The Ring magazine, "I think Jake Paul knocks him out. AJ is a spent force. Jake is on the rise." Paul is entering the bout at heavyweight again, after beating 58-year-old Mike Tyson last November. The fight will be 8 3-minute rounds with 10-ounce gloves. Joshua must weigh no more than 245 pounds. Fury, who recently retired, again, remains uncertain about his own future, adding more intrigue. Paul was originally set to fight Gervonta Davis in November, before the bout was cancelled due to legal issues. Paul's team listed several fighters who agreed to face him afterward, including Joshua. Tommy Fury declined, saying, "Offer me the $15 million anywhere outside America and I'll be there in 8 weeks to shut you up again." Tommy remains the only man to defeat Jake Paul. British legend Carl Froch also gave his brutal take on Joshua's career, saying AJ's prime is over, even if he destroys Jake Paul. Froch questioned Joshua's legacy, arguing that AJ filled stadiums but struggled at the elite level. He cited losses to Ruiz, Usyk, and the Dubois knockout as signs the decline has already happened. He believes Joshua is now cashing in during what he calls the clown world.
Consider, is AJ cashing out? Well, I did say a year ago when he got splattered by Daniel Dubois that he's finished now. He won't get that confidence back. He's not had any confidence, in his head. No belief for a long time. And I don't think he can get back to world level. There's a couple of new young guns now coming up and coming through. It's like a changing of the guard. And when Usyk retires, I don't know what Daniel Dubois is going to do next, but what Daniel Dubois did to him, then he went on and lost to Usyk. But there's a few new heavyweights coming through, Moses Atalma, just to mention one. And you wouldn't start putting AJ in with any of these young up-and-comers that can punch hard, because I just don't think he's got the chance, because the ambition and the desire is going to be gone. So AJ most definitely is cashing out, and you can't fault him. Fair play to him. He's going to get a massive payday, maximise his exit route.
Froch continued, saying AJ's true legacy is bringing boxing back to mainstream audiences and attracting casual fans who wanted to be part of big events, not necessarily because they loved the sport. He argued that while this impact was great for boxing, it wasn't enough for Hall of Fame status. To Froch, Hall of Fame fighters defend titles repeatedly and beat elite opponents. That, he says, isn't AJ's resume. He believes the Jake Paul fight damages Joshua's legacy slightly because it places him in the clown world, but admits the money is enormous, and AJ is capitalizing while he can. Despite the massive skill gap, David Benavidez praised Jake Paul for taking such a dangerous fight. "I give 100% respect to Jake Paul, but that's a dangerous fight. He probably gets knocked out." Anthony Joshua is Anthony Joshua. Lawrence Oakley, who has sparred both Paul and Joshua, offered to help Jake prepare. "I want to go to Puerto Rico and help him. Maybe he sees something none of us do." Oakley won't pick Paul to win but believes Jake might give Joshua brief trouble. Joshua's size, reach, and power remain the biggest challenge. Oakley doesn't expect Joshua to knock Paul out in 30 seconds, saying AJ might treat the fight as a tune-up after being inactive. But if Jake lands a clean shot and AJ doesn't finish him in return, things could get interesting. Johnny Nelson believes Joshua is in a no-win situation, except financially. It sounds like there's 50 million reasons AJ is taking this fight. If Joshua wins easily, people will say it was expected. If Jake survives or looks competitive, Joshua's reputation takes a hit. Nelson questions whether Joshua still has the hunger to reclaim world titles after being knocked out by Dubois. AJ's promoter Eddie Hearn insists it will be a genuine fight with standard 10-ounce gloves. Nelson says Jake Paul now has the world's attention, and must back up his boasts. Viewers will tune in hoping to see Paul humbled, while purists hope Joshua looks like his old self. Promoter Frank Warren summed it up bluntly: "This fight has car crash written all over."
Thought of it. It's nothing to do with me to start with. It come out of the blue, but it's intriguing. And I think from Jake's perspective, he's had a lot of criticism about, he is a pro boxer now. The way you want to look at it, he trains as a pro, but, and he's fighting as a pro. They said it's about time he fought some. I've seen some of the stuff, that's been said. When's he going to fight someone? Well, he's gone from one extreme to the other. That's what he's doing. So if that fight happens, you've got to take your hat off to him.
He got called out by Andre Ward, AJ. Would you rather see Jake fight AJ, which is obviously, as we know, a mismatch, or Andre Ward, who's been retired for, 4 years?
I'd much rather see AJ fight Tyson.
Oh, please. I dread to think how many times
we don't know if that's
going to
happen, because the big man, he's filming, he's not made his mind up what he's going to do.
It's widely believed that Anthony Joshua will still face Tyson Fury in a mega fight next year, even if he goes through with the controversial clash against Jake Paul first. Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, said just last week that they're actively working to make the Fury fight happen, with Turki Al-Sheikh, chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, expected to help broker the deal. Al-Sheikh has already confirmed that Joshua is booked to fight in February, with plans to target Fury in 2026. According to Hearn, their side of the deal is almost wrapped up. But Frank Warren made it clear that the final decision will always rest with Tyson Fury himself. As Warren put it, Tyson will decide what he wants to do. It all comes down to whether he wants it, and how much money. Talks are ongoing. If the offer is right, he'll take it. Meanwhile, Ariel Helwani has weighed in on the Joshua-Paul spectacle. Helwani pushed back on the idea that this fight damages Joshua's legacy, arguing that legends like Muhammad Ali and George Foreman also took part in so-called gimmick bouts. At the end of the day, he says, boxing has always been prize fighting. But Helwani didn't shy away from the real issue: safety. He pointed to Francis Ngannou's terrifying knockout earlier in the year, when Ngannou, someone who had never been rocked or dropped, lay motionless on the canvas for what felt like forever. Helwani said, the fair debate around Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is about safety. It's not hyperbole. People die in boxing. Does this fight put Jake Paul at excessive risk? Despite all the criticism, Jake Paul is doubling down. He's boldly declared that he will defeat Anthony Joshua, even with Joshua's credentials and clear size advantage. On his YouTube channel, Paul proclaimed, I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua. Friday, December 19th. Live on Netflix. Joshua, who's been out of the ring since his brutal knockout loss to Daniel Dubois in September 2024, views this fight as a tune-up before his February return. As the matchup draws closer, more voices are weighing in. Rising heavyweight Moses Itoma questioned why Jake even took the fight in the first place, saying, Jake Paul needs to fire his advisors. Yes, there's money, but this is absurd. I like Jake, and he's great for boxing, especially women's boxing, but this fight? It's dangerous. Still, Jake remains unwavering. This isn't an AI simulation. This is Judgment Day, he said. A professional heavyweight fight against an elite world champion in his prime. When I beat Anthony Joshua, every doubt disappears and no one can deny me a world title shot. To his critics, Jake delivered one final message: this is what you wanted. That's all for today's video. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.